Hi, thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing, also known as Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle, quite a few names over the years, and depending on where you knew me. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about my Medal of Honor art project and a few different things while driving to go to Washington State to pick up my Medal of Honor artwork pieces. The two biggest pieces that I had completed thus far. And so I kind of thought about it over the, basically since around November 2019. Or 2018 into 2019, and now it's the 8th of June 2020. And I was thinking about how you earn a Medal of Honor during wartime efforts, and a lot of Medal of Honor recipients were involved in wars overseas. Now there are some Medal of Honor recipients who earned their Medal of Honor, for example, in the Civil War. The Civil War was fought in the United States of America. The French and Indian War, the Spanish War, inside the United States of America. So those particular wars were fought on the homeland soil. High Homeland Security. And so, that being said, and in conjunction with the fact that I had gone scuba diving, and I haven't ever hidden that aspect of scuba diving. However, when I went scuba diving, I had gone, in regards to all the different training that I had done, had been in the state of Texas. And in the state of Texas is within the United States of America, of course. In regards to my ocean dives, though, all of my ocean dives were in international waters, which, when I went to Cozumel and landed at the bottom of the ocean for each of the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did 5 ocean dives in Cozumel, right? 2 days, 2 per day, and then 1 on the shore. Okay, so 5, and they were all in international areas of the ocean. So that would automatically mean like CIA stuff, right? Because CIA, or Central Intelligence Agency, is, international stuff. Irony of being at a school called International Scuba. And so then the ocean dives that I did when at the week in Florida in August of 2009. So when leaving from the Boca Raton, Florida port to land at the bottom of the ocean there, it wasn't off of the shore line that I had done those 2 scuba dives. So those 2 scuba dives in the leaving from the port of Boca Raton, Florida, while the port itself was, on U.S. soil for the United States of America, the dives themselves, where I landed at the bottom of the ocean, were in the international water area, because I would at least guesstimate, because, it wasn't like it was, a 20-minute speedboat ride. It was, almost an hour, maybe a little over an hour, for those particular scuba dives where I landed at the bottom of the ocean, 2 of them. And so, somewhere between, whether it was, I think it was an hour and 15 minutes, like total maybe an hour and a half, for a speedboat ride out from the Boca Raton port from Florida all the way out in the Atlantic area of the ocean, which I'm fairly certain that means it was in international waters. And then when going to the Vandenberg, and those were 2 dives out of the Boca Raton port, by the way. So that's, so 5 plus 2, that's 7. And then going to the Vandenberg where I landed at the bottom of the ocean there in the Matthias Abyss, I'm fairly certain that portion is very much in international areas of the ocean, despite leaving from Key West, Florida, as far as the port that the speedboat went out on, the Starfish Enterprise. And so those were two different dives as well. Now, only one of those dives did I land at the bottom of the ocean, unlike the other ones at Boca Raton and Cozumel. But so those are two more. So it's technically 9, right? I think that's 9. Nonetheless, and not forgetting the snorkeling aspect in the international area of the ocean in the Atlantic. So, area of the ocean. So, just with the scuba dives alone in that regard, then, you know, I would guesstimate there's a whole bunch of CIA guys who probably do scuba diving. and then, you know, I would guesstimate a bunch of them have, you know, some sort of military background or law enforcement background on top of being in the CIA stuff. I could be wrong. I'm fairly certain that there's probably some correlation there. And then on top of that, not forgetting the FBI, of course, because the FBI is on Homeland stuff. But in regards of the Medal of Honor art project that I came up with, in my Medal of Honor art project, that's obviously on homeland soil of the United States of America, at least the ones that I was getting. And so the different areas of the United States of America, was it 11 or 12 different states that I had gone through just for the Medal of Honor art project at the time, not including like the traveling, you know, as far as like going through to the solar eclipse in Nebraska, and that whole thing. So, okay, I guess that's 13 or 14 states in combination. Nonetheless, you know, you've got those different states, plus the fact that Medal of Honor recipients usually earn their Medal of Honor award during wartime efforts having involved with international wars. And granted, there's only been 2 world wars. There's only been World War I and World War II. There have been other conflicts and wars, such as the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War, so on and so forth, that has, you know, obviously been overseas, so that would be international stuff. However, in regards to the issues that I had no idea were going on until essentially November of 2018 in that reference, if there was a what is it called, a jurisdictional issue or something like that because of stuff like that, I would guesstimate that would kind of bring the 2 different ones kind of together. Not necessarily exactly the same, but, you know, certain things along the same lines because of it being on the homeland soil of the United States of America. However, you know, the fact that I landed at the bottom of the ocean where I did, in, you know, multiple scuba dives. Probably, without my knowledge, you know, necessarily in a greater aspect, kind of like now, like, I kind of figured at some point, you know, the United States of America's armed forces and government would find out about my Medal of Honor art project. I kind of figured at some point in time they would find out about it, whether it was when I did the searches online or whether it was when I made my website or whether that had to do with actually going out to those locations, whether the aspects of getting the rubbings themselves, or whether that had to do with picking up or dropping off the artwork pieces to be encased in glass, whether that had to do with picking up the Medal of Honor artwork pieces that were finished, whether that had to do with where I dropped them off, you know, or a combination thereof. I just kind of figured at some point in time, possibly the United States of America's government, somewhere along those lines, would find out about my Medal of Honor art project. And not in a negative way, because obviously I was being respectful and you know, honoring the guys, not just the ones who earned the Medal of Honor, but all of the military branches and divisions and law enforcement and fire department and EMS and so on and so forth. You know, obviously I was respectful where I went and with what I did. I can't be responsible for, you know, those who had caused problems to my Medal of Honor art project in a negative way, such as, you know, during the 2017 trip in regards to Montana. However, you know, I would guesstimate that, you know, the United States of America's armed forces probably found out about that really quickly at some point in time. And it really didn't dawn on me, to be honest, like until after 2018 in November, when I had spoken with CID, or Criminal Investigation Division, at Joint Base Lewis McCourt. That didn't really click until that point in time. I admit that. But I kind of had this feeling that before then, before actually speaking with the CID agents, I kind of had a feeling that somewhere along the line, maybe somebody would find out about it. And not just, you know, where I took them to and all those different things that I brought up as far as the different locations. So in reference to the ones that maliciously caused problems to my Medal of Honor art project, while, okay, I've never denied I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. And I've also never denied, you know, the headaches or the migraines or the memory deficits or the cognitive disorders especially, or the, you know, having gone from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math. So me having an issue realizing that sort of stuff, I would guesstimate, you know, if there were those that were maliciously, you know, causing problems hypothetically, and they were all like, oh, ha 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 ha, well, I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. And so, like, in regards to, like, the aspects of me not figuring it out, okay. I'm not the smartest person.
West for 31 miles.
Like, I went from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math, so there's that. And then there's all of the guys, as far as like Geek Squad guys and NSA guys, that would be able to be like, yeah, she's dumb when it comes to technology. Like, there probably is no doubt in that regard. And so to be like, oh, ha, 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 well, it's not really funny to begin with. Nonetheless, at the same time, you know, I don't know how you didn't think about the government and military being like, that's some messed up stuff. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna go fill up the gas tank. And you guys have a good one. Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel, Reverend MeeLing. I'm Reverend MeeLing. You guys have a good one.